Today is day 6 of Valorant Champions, and we have 3 matches for today. KRU versus XERXIA, FURIA versus FNATIC, and then FPX versus XSET. No mucking around today, heading straight into our first match for KRU versus XERXIA, and KRU were the favorite heading into this match. The maps for this series are Icebox for KRU, Haven for XERXIA, and Ascent as the decider. Both team comps are fairly standard for Icebox, with KRU going for the G2 comp with no duelist. This is a little bit different to what I usually show, but take a look at the buy here for KRU. This is the second round. They already won the first one. And not only though do they have 2 rifles, but the people with the rifles also have full shields. So for example, Mazzino and Delsic bought rifles for those players, and they bought themselves full shields. Now they have 2 players on a completely full buy only on the second round. So of course, when that's going up against pistols, they win this round very easily. You can see completely flawless. And these shields do actually end up helping. Like you can see there, Nazget, he only has 2 HP left. If he didn't have those extra shields, he would have died there. What this means now for the third round is that KRU nearly have a full buy. You can see they have 3 rifles with full shields, another rifle with light shields, and then a Spectre. But normally on a round like this, you would have full Spectres, maybe a Bulldog or 2 if you're lucky. So you can see how that strategy on the second round comes into the third round, and then just makes this so much more winnable for KRU. And you'll see later on the scoreboard, they just managed to pile on rounds because of this. And then I also wanted to show why they call Mazzino Mr. Icebox. This guy just has plot armor on this map. He can't die. So KRU were just very dominant on Icebox. It was their map pick, but so I think people expected it to be much closer than this. But with that second and third round buy strategy that went over, it allowed them to just pile on rounds. But they just had so much money in the first half because of that strategy. It just felt like every single round, even if they lost, they were going to be able to buy next. Very well played map there from KRU. Heading to map 2 now, being Haven. XSET are really good on this map, and they are actually rocking a Neon here. Meanwhile, again, KRU have no duelist. And take a look at this play from Foxes.
What is this play? You gotta be kidding me! No. You are just going to disrespect the smoke, and he finds the dino! Oh my goodness! Sidesteps one way to the next. And now the panic sets in. Yep, Fox is whiffing every shot.
Never mind, sorry, that was the wrong clip. It's actually this one.
And that's kills. They got the guns as well. Shots being rattled. 1-2. Fox with the ghost. Flash inside of the smoke. That's going to be causing a bit of chaos as well. The players are so... What is that?
And despite how good KRU were on Icebox, XERXIA were just much better on Haven. Obviously expected, as it was their map pick. Just a very good map for them. And Fox has definitely made up for his whiff with that 4k in the bonus round. So now we're on Ascent for map 3. Nearly a mirror matchup, with the only difference being a KO for KRU and a breach for XERXIA. What I want to highlight for Ascent is actually just this pistol round right here.
The pace is just injected into it, a flash to the side, and they have read it completely, absolutely absorbing the aggression.
So you can see how well KRU read this play. They're just aware this is what XERXIA like to do on defense Ascent. They like to push out and be aggressive. So they just play back, wait for the aggression to come to them, and then just out-aim them. Keston had a very good map on Ascent. It was just hitting all of his shots every single round, went crazy. I mean, the series as a whole wasn't overly close. Every map was pretty dominant by one team, and KRU were just better on 2 maps, which at the end of the day is all you need to do. So now this means that XERXIA is eliminated from Champions. Meanwhile, KRU will have to verse the loser of FPX versus XSET. Our second match of the day is FURIA versus FNATIC. Arguably one of the best teams in the tournament versus one of the worst, although FNATIC didn't look great in their last match. The maps for this series are Icebox for FNATIC, Breeze for FURIA, and then Haven as the decider. Looking at Icebox, the team comps are pretty standard, no duels for either team, and FNATIC are easily favored to win this map. It's their map pick for a reason. They're very strong on Icebox. Now to give you an idea of some of the shots that the FURIA players were hitting this game, just take a look at this clip. You can't prepare for that. You can't counter-strike that. That is just better aim. And despite what I said earlier, FURIA actually managed to win Icebox. It's very surprising they managed to take this map off of FNATIC. Admittedly, FNATIC didn't look great here, but FURIA deserves so much credit for this. I still think taking Icebox off of FNATIC is just insane. We're heading over to Breeze now. FNATIC normally banned this map, but left it open for FURIA to choose. And FNATIC have an interesting team comp here with a Breach and a Neon. What I want to show for Breeze is this round where FNATIC basically hit 2 sites at once.
try and fake
I
this
like
time
this.
around with the wall towards B here. Dirk are going to open things up. FURIA actually punishes a player.
Both sides of the map.
Yeah, both sides of the map.
Again, as much as I say, yeah, okay, take cave
It's all
control.
encompassing.
Yeah, but you just got to beat Durka with the operator. You got to get past some of the best players in the world who are holding pretty strong positions, and it's a formality at 10-2.
I think the most impressive thing about this entire round is what happens over on B. As you can see, Bosa and FURIA make the way up mid with this neon wall, fairly standard, but then the breach from elbow puts a flash through this wall that then hits quick on the B side, which is how FURIA can get the kill so easily onto him. Again, you can see here, he is completely blind because he's scoped in with the AWP. He can't see the flash. He just gets completely destroyed by that. And then in the meantime, Durka and Enzo are just working their way onto A side. This is a really good attacking round by FNATIC. And again, I especially like that breach on the B side. So FNATIC did actually end up winning Breeze. They pretty much never play this map. In fact, they almost always ban it. So it is surprising that they come out with so many good strategies. And the breach actually ended up working really, really well for them. A lot of people don't think breach is great on Breeze, but the way they use his flashes especially was actually really good. The third and final map for this series is Haven, with FURIA running a no duelist comp. And for Haven, this has to be the round that I show.
I can't believe this. With the last breath, they're going to try and fight middle, and it's going to be Khalil and UCK. The trades are good,
It's
though.
2 for
Mystic.
2 in the hands of Enzo.
He should be able to get a gun here. I'm pretty sure he
Gonna be
can
able to
probably get a
retrieve
weapon.
bomb mid.
Yeah. Oh,
They're going aggressive!
How dare they do this? Alpha deals with one with just a rocket in the pocket, and now the 2v2. The wall goes up, going to buy some precious time. They're walking CT. And Alpha here, do you expect it? The trade, and now the 1v1. Enzo, so clutch for FNATIC. He needs it now. If they want to win right here, or it goes to OT, and the swing, the seas is good, and they're in danger! And Enzo, the one to do it! It ain't clean, it ain't pretty, but they stay alive!
This map of Haven was incredible and so back and forth, particularly towards the last few rounds. It was anyone's game at so many different points, but FNATIC did end up taking it home. The overall series as well was something special, and huge props to FURIA for going toe to toe with one of the best teams in the world. Unfortunately, FURIA are now eliminated from Champions, and FNATIC will have to rematch 100 Thieves for a spot in playoffs. Our final match of the day is FPX versus XSET, and seeing as they're the reigning champions of the last international tournament, FPX were clearly the favourite going into this one. The maps for this series are Pearl for XSET, Fracture for FPX, and Breeze as the decider. Team comps for Pearl are interesting, as we'd expect. XSET have a Neon and an Astra for solo smokes, but more importantly, FPX have a Cypher, and then Viper plus Omen for smokes. One thing I quickly wanted to show for Pearl was the Cypher camera for B site. You can see where it is there. It's on top of that tower, and as soon as anyone comes down ramp, not impossible for the attackers to see it, but no one's going to be looking up there realistically, and you can get so much information just by having it there. Unfortunately, Artist still dies, but I thought that was a very nice Cypher camera spot for the two remaining Cypher players. And another thing I wanted to show was this early A main aggression from XSET.
Around Art. This time a lot of players here waiting for him as he slides on through, and he still wins the fight.
Really well timed utility there. The KO flash comes over the top, the Neon slides in, the Fade Haunt comes in, and there's just so much stuff for the FPX players to deal with. They have no idea what's going on. Pearl actually went the way of XSET. Although it was their map pick, I think a lot of people were honestly expecting FPX to win this series 2-0, but XSET really showed up here, and BCJ especially went absolutely insane on Pearl. 24-7 as a fade is wild. Our second map of the series is Fracture, which is FPX's pick, and both teams are going for their typical team comps. Now this is only a pistol round, but take a look at how this goes.
Swing from Artis. He's got the TP online. No shot to hit to start. And look at XSET. Immediately, they just sprint into the site. But there's plenty of players still waiting for them. Artis.
Oh my god.
3 kills in a single mag of the Classic. Down to 4 and an ace.
So I got an ace entirely with the Classic, and that's pretty much what the entire map was like. So Fracture was literally just a one-man show. XSET and the rest of FPX had their moments, but Artis' stats there really tell you all you need to know about what happened here. He got 30 kills, 438 ACS. He could not be stopped. The third and final map is Breeze, which honestly doesn't specifically favor either team, and we actually have 2 Cyphers and no Chambers, which is pretty rare for Breeze. I want to show this round for Breeze.
Through the wall, but he still manages to. Great kills, but second is trying to clutch it.
And the reason I wanted to show that is because I feel like it pretty much describes how this map went. FPX played terribly. They threw so many rounds, but that's not to discredit XSET at all. They still played very, very well and made the most of all of FPX's blunders. Like here, I don't understand where Zipan is looking. The FPX that showed up on this Breeze are not the FPX that won last Masters. XSET managed to win Breeze in an incredibly dominant fashion. You can see there, 13-5. It was 12-1 at one point. Then FPX managed to put a few rounds together. And like I just said when I was showing that round, FPX threw a lot and they played really bad. But again, I can't discredit XSET. They played very, very well here. And the series as a whole, I honestly think it could have been a 2-0 if it wasn't for Artis on Fracture. Or at the very least, Fracture would not have been 13-4. What this means now is that XSET are qualified to playoffs, whereas FPX will have to verse KRU if they want a spot. That's it for day 6, and tomorrow we actually have no games. It's going to be a 1-day break, and then we'll have 2 days worth of decider matches before hopping into playoffs.